Okay, welcome. We are here today with competitive athlete Amanda Cence, who has competed in CCN CyberClash. This will be her third time, right? She competed in, I think, CCN 5, where she won the novice bikini class and was second in the open. And then CCN 6 is where she won the first place in the open, right? Correct?
Correct. Yep.
All right. So now since you're going on your third time now, we wanted to bring back some of those winners and we wanted to get things, from their mouth, what they're thinking, what they're feeling. So the first thing is, what interested you in CCN at first? Like, what caught your attention that you even gave it a thought and eventually signed up for it?
Sure. Well, thanks for having me on, Ryan. You know, CCN was brought up to us, my team. I first competed with the Fitness Asylum, and they had their own show, and you were at one of the locations of the show. So it was more of a everybody's prepped, we're ready. Your hair, your makeup, your tan. You've gone through all the work. You've put in the weeks of work. So take another opportunity to put yourself out there, get on stage, so to speak, and get that feedback. So for me, every season, I'm trying to do as much as I can in terms of my shows, get out as much as possible. And CCN was just another opportunity to do that. So I was thankful that Fitness Asylum brought that up. It was great since, another chance, another opportunity to compete and to compete against competitors from not just our area, but from all over. So I thought that was a great opportunity and I loved it.
Yeah, and that's the thing too, is CCN, besides just the hubs, we're trying to make it low friction. All right. So the hubs are obviously the easiest. If you can find a hub, you're already ready for stage that day. Go compete, get off stage, go to the hub, get your video recorded. But even when you're not, the pitch, is you're already for the most part recording a lot of videos. For your coaches, for check-ins, for posing instructors, you're already in that rhythm. Most people already have their spot and their setup. All we're doing with CCN is providing you with, like, hey, stand here. Here's the audio that's going to call out your quarter turns. Like, get yourself ready a little bit and get ready to go.
I did them at both of the hubs, the two that I competed at, but you had instructions there. It has plenty of instructions and tutorials for you to walk you through it, to do it at home, so, or any other location. So, it seems as if a nice way just to get out there another time because you're ready. You've put in
Yeah.
so much work anyways.
Yeah, and again, teaching background. So again, like, some people need to read, some people want to
Yep.
see a diagram. I even got video, like, hey, these people did it perfectly, do it just like them. So once you do register and you do get access to the portal and you sign up for your event, you get your audio file, you're getting access to all that stuff based on your division. Second major question: do you feel that the feedback and the scoring that you receive from CCN, do you think that it is useful in your traditional competition career?
Oh yeah, absolutely. The feedback from CCN is uncomparable, in my opinion, to what you get at a traditional show, just because the judges have been given more time to actually look through the videos and to score. And, not only that, when you get the actual feedback, I was so impressed with the bar graphs, also from a teaching background.
Hmm.
Um, so the bar graphs and being able to see, okay, here's where I scored in muscularity, here's where I scored symmetry, the front, the back, the top, the bottom half. Like, that was so awesome to see. And also for it to be broken down by competitor. Like, I could see where the competitor below me and above me were on that bar graph. So, okay, how far off am I, or how far below is that competitor in terms of reaching me, in terms of beating me? So that was so cool to see. I really had never considered all, the X frame, the symmetry, the muscle definition. If you're really considering continuing into this sport and really wanting to learn what you're being judged on, I think something like this is so important. also, like, there was the written feedback at the end where the judges got an opportunity to write out a few comments, and that really stuck with me, time and time again. Just kept saying, my back, my rear needed to be worked on, hamstrings, belts, the glutes, and that comment kept coming up. So to me, that was okay. Here's my red flag. This is what I need to work on. I keep getting comments that my backside's not matching my front side. What's happening here? And what can I do differently to enhance that?
Yeah. And it's not a knock on traditional shows. Traditional shows, it's a different monster. You have to judge a lot of people at the same time on a time limit. There's a lot going on with
Yep.
and at the traditional shows, you only usually have 2 or 3 scoring columns. So the judges are having to do a lot of mental like gymnastics to make this work. And again, the reason why CCN got so detailed is because, again, like, what are you talking about? We're talking about symmetry. So what does symmetry mean? Symmetry can mean like, okay, so are you balanced in terms of your muscularity, up top and bottom? But what about front to back? Also, symmetry can mean, are you symmetrical? There's those people who are hard as nails up top and they're smooth in the bottom. That's a symmetrical thing. And then other people will think of the taper as being symmetrical. No, we consider that the X frame. So those are things that are broken up into detail. So while you have at a traditional show 2 or 3 boxes to figure out that you're comparing these people, the data points for CCN has now reached at the minimum 51. For some of the other classes like FemFit, where you're hitting those other poses, the data points go, I think it climbs to 62. So for every matchup, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and you're comparing these people, the judges are not going through 2 or 3 boxes. Oh, one, two, okay. You're going through 57, upwards to 57, 60 something data points where you're comparing, okay, well, muscularity in the front, like shoulders, arms, midsection, and that's how you're getting to the end result. And although that scoring mechanism is not used at the shows, if you do well at CCN, you therefore have to do well. We're getting really down to the the details with CCN. So it's good to know that people do see the value in that. That is what I've always wanted to push, is that value. And it's always been, hey, we gotta show more stuff. We gotta show the comparisons. We gotta have more graphs. We gotta get more granular. And there have been quite a few updates with that scoring system to make it more detailed. So
I love the visuals. The graphs are really important to me. That made it easy for me to read too, with all the explanations. But I don't know, I just feel like if you're somebody that's really wanting to learn about the scoring of bodybuilding and competing, I feel like there's a lot of people who just step on stage, they diet down, they step on stage, they feel like they look great, and they probably do. They've gone through the whole diet process, then maybe they don't do well on stage, and they just kind of like, well, I didn't do well, and give up on it, because they don't really understand what they're being scored on. They don't understand the judging. They just, well, I look great. Why didn't I do well? For a long time, I didn't realize the symmetry part too, from the backside to my front side. Like, I know, I'm more muscular on the top than the bottom, but really front to back was something that.
And as someone who recorded your video and scored your stuff, it kept coming up where it's like, wait, once she turns around, it looks like if I put a screenshot, it looks like 2 different people. So that's where people would either chip away at your lead, or you would be surpassed. And I'd like to think now, again, you have to speak for yourself. I'd like to think now that some of that CCN feedback has led to some of those improvements that, again, you're into the delts, the back, the back posing, glutes, hamstrings. I'm hoping that feedback has been a part of that.
100%. We're coming in with a whole new package.
All right. So last question. You won that novice, right? You won that open. You're signed up for your third now, this CCN 9 and the hub. Why do you continue to compete in CCN?
Sure. I feel like, again, when I'm stage ready and I've put in all this work, uh, I feel like it's a no-brainer for me to just be part of something else where I'm going to get so much valuable feedback that I can then work on and take that into the following seasons. I try to get as much sort of bang for my buck for these seasons. I put my body, my mind, everything through, weeks, 20 something weeks of a prep. And this is just another opportunity, low cost, which is fantastic. We know the sport can get really pricey,
Yep.
but it's low cost, low fee. I'm already going to be at that show where you'll have a hub there, and I'll just jump in and be part of it. It's more opportunity. I always look at it more opportunity to practice, get in front of a whole new set of judges, and then get that detailed feedback, which is so important in moving forward.
Another advantage for someone like you who has competed in multiple CCNs is the mirror match. So you always hear that it's kind of cliche, the real battle is against yourself. When you have done previous CCNs, we have your video. We have your old video. So now you have the unique situation where you actually can face off against a previous version of yourself and be scored and see which version under those 53, 57, 62 data points is the winner. I think that is something that is super cool, super interesting. It's super useful. Like, here's the thing, not everyone is always going to win. You're not always going to win at CCN. You're not always going to win at traditional live events. It's there's only one winner and everyone else is not the winner. The thing that should keep people going is that they themselves are improving. And sometimes you can improve, but you can place worse. You can place worse based on what show you did, who showed up, and what the judges are looking for. But the unique situation with this is you actually get to see if you are better than what you were.
Yeah, that's so awesome. I mean, I know from being in the sport, you have so many pictures of yourself on your phone and videos. I mean, you have to going through the sport and all your posing. And so I know I'm always trying to look back. Oh, what did I look like 5 months ago? What did I look like 6 months ago? What did I look like a year ago? Even just today, I looked at a picture of myself, like a selfie of myself from 2 years ago, and compared to today. And it's so great sometimes to look back to see the progress that's been made. There's always a story with it. I mean, it tells a story, and it's important to see it. I think the mirror image, that comparison, I can't wait to see that for myself, to see how far I've come, the progress, and then just to keep pushing, to keep working towards the next. So I think it's awesome.
All right. So I feel like that's a wrap there. I mean, I feel like we covered a lot. That went well.
Yep.
We'll keep this going and we'll see you at the hub at Monster Mash.
Thank you, Ryan.
All right. Take care.